So, I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible. First, let me say my name is Heather Palacios. Um, I'm just trying to get this out maybe to the media, to maybe a couple shows, some attorneys, in hopes that this will help me to obtain my driver's license back because it was illegally stolen and taken from me almost 7 years ago. I'm now 36. I lost my license right after I turned 30, and I have not been able to get it back since. It was from a car accident. I was blamed for one that I wasn't in. My actual accident is not anywhere on record that I know of, but I'm hoping to finally find that and prove that I'm innocent, or I've even offered the court legal system to take lie detector tests. I've been to court 3 times and still no avail. I was supposed to get my license back over a year ago. I was promised that from the judge and the plaintiff, the attorney general assistant. I was told that once the final fine was paid that I would indeed get that back. I have a witness, well, 2 witnesses that will confirm that. My dad is one of them. Um, Basically, at this point, I have to have it back. My dad is in stage 4 cancer, and it's in 4 different organs, and I need to be able to get him to chemo. He has treatments every week. He has a variety of doctors. He sees a lot. I have my own appointments and things to get to. I need to go back to work. I've needed to for years and still haven't been able to. I'm not able to even have a solid relationship because of this. My mom's health is failing. I can't take her to and from. She needs my assistance as well. Um, it's holding me back horribly. So I have to get it back one way or another. And I've had a lot of trouble finding an attorney for the reason that I didn't find out until it was too late, a little over 2 years later, that I was being sued for an auto accident that I was not involved in. So I need to try to make this as quick as I can. Um, my accident was on 81 South, right outside of Winchester, Virginia. I have a Maryland driver's license, by the way, but the accident was unfortunately in Virginia, which is a very tough state to have any kind of traffic violation or accident. It just is. I didn't have insurance, was my only fault, and I lost my car. Right before that, I will say I had lost everything I'd ever owned, and my landlord seized everything, but it just was bad. He took all my stuff and sold it, and just took everything that I ever owned. And I was in the middle of a divorce as well, so all those things happening within a couple months' time. I was injured. I mean, I have permanent nerve damage in my hand from the accident, and then the nerve damage in my knee that I have an appointment tomorrow about because I still have problems and a scar tissue there that needs taken care of, and my kneecap is now having problems, some arthritis and things like that. So I've had a lot of loss from it, just in those things alone and things prior to that, and then not being able to work for all these years. I tried to go back to work in 2015. That's when I found out about the lawsuit against me for this other accident, and I tried to start fighting it, and it was too late. It was 2 years past. There's a deadline, 2 years in Virginia to appeal and dismiss things, so I was too late. And the reason behind that I didn't know anything about it is the whole reason it should have been dismissed in the first place, which Virginia state judicial system is at fault for, because they should have thrown out the case as soon as I brought it to their attention. They had my address so wrong in the Virginia DMV system that I didn't receive any mail about the court dates, about the lawsuit, anything like that, until it was too late. Once I changed it, all the mail started rolling in. But that wasn't until almost, right past, it was fall of 2015. And I was trying to get a copy of my license so that I could go back to work because I had lost my license. So, this is the copy, and I was going to get a duplicate driver's license and found out that I didn't have a Maryland state license anymore. And the reason why is because they had my address so wrong that I didn't receive any mail. And my address, I have legal documents from the MVA and other documents that state clearly this wrong address for any attorney that wants to know. Here's one of them. It's from the MVA, Maryland, Maryland Motor Vehicle Administration. And it says my address as, my real address is Dawson Cemetery Road. They had it as Dawson Creek Road. And I live in Rawlings, Maryland, which is Rawlings. They have it as Rollings, like a rolling, like wheels rolling. Rollings, Rollings, Maryland. So I didn't receive any in my mail to know anything until I changed it over 2 years later. And by that time, it was too late again, so I couldn't get a lawyer to take it. And I still really couldn't until I found the most recent error that I wish I would have caught way before December. But I just found it. So, but it's in fact within the last 2 years, the last error. So I can now fight this, and I'm looking for an attorney to do so. But that's not my problem. At this point, I have other problems that need to be fixed. My actual accident was on 81 South, and I was struck from behind by a utility truck, and then the Mack truck, either I was pushed into him, or I know that he slammed his brakes, though. I remember that. And it just caused a domino effect, and there was just a row of vehicles just smashed into each other, rear end each other. So we were all smashed together. And mine was all the way up to almost the dash, and I have I have photos of my vehicle to prove the severity of the damage, and it also proves how the accident went. That the ones they're describing, my vehicle doesn't match that scenario at all. It couldn't have been possible. So I have that evidence. I have evidence of the wrong address. I have proof of another date. My accident, I think my accident was probably on June 17th, because I got paperwork that has dated June 17th from another law firm, which I don't know why, but I did. And I never received anything else except for date of loss. It says 6/17/2013. And their accident was on 6/18. So we have 2 dates, wrong address, wrong road, wrong scenario. Now, the other thing is, I've been paying on this ever since. And I did even then, back in 2015, just so I could get my license back. I needed it I just been hired somewhere I had a really good job offer, and I took it and was going back to work. Once I finally got back on track, I wanted to work. So that's what I was trying to do. I just figured I would pay that and then get an attorney once I got settled in at my new job and fix it from there. That never happened, because we ended up spending all the money we had put back for me and my dad. He was trying to help me somewhat at that point. He was pretty mad at me with all the mistakes and things going on. But we had spent over $2,000 and paid on the dead attorney that was suing me for that wrong accident, and all the fines and fees and reinstatement fees. It all totaled to over $2,000, and a debt law firm ended up getting, for the person in this other accident, the wrong one, it was towards his amount of loss for $1,600 is what we paid them. So that was all paid, and then I had to have a special insurance, just to have my license back, to be insured as an insured driver is all it is. It's for people that have reckless driving issues, or DUI, DWI, all that. So I had to have that. It was $190 a month that I had to start paying on. And plus, when I got a vehicle, it would have been almost $300 or more just for insurance alone. But it was already over and done with. I had no money then for a vehicle for my job. So that being that it was 25 miles from my house, it was too much to be having my dad drive me to and from the 50 miles every day. So I had to lose. I lost that job. I couldn't do it because the money was gone for the vehicle. So I had no way. I had to quit. So I lost that, and I've been kind of at a standstill ever since, trying to find an attorney, just going to court, dealing with this stuff. They took me to court for garnishment of my wages. There were no wages to garnish because I have no car to drive to and from a job. So that was stupid anyway. So they dismissed that, and then I went back again to start paying on. They took me to court for not paying a certain amount that they came up with a new amount, and that is where the error was. There was another error that was made that I can pursue it now. In the actual accident that they are saying that I did, that I wasn't in, on the police crash report, it states that I hit one vehicle and pushed him into another vehicle sideways, and they T-boned, and I knocked them off to the side of the road, and then separately went on to rear end into a Mack truck. That's what it says I did on 81 North on June 18th of 2013. Okay, that's nothing like my accident that I just talked about, so that's all wrong, of course. But then when they took me to court on November 26th of 2018, they have a bill of particulars letter of what I owe and what I owe it for. They say I owe money for a guardrail. I knew that sounded wrong, but I never paid attention to the actual bill of particulars letter itself until recently. I'm glad I did catch it before 2 years is up, because I now have a window to fight it, because first of all, the trial was within the last 2 years, and the paperwork was made within the last 2 years. This was prepared before the court date in October, and this one says, and this is for the same case, and of course I'm still at blame, it's all the same accident, but now they've changed the scenario 100%. It now says, and as of recently, and since October of 2018 at least, this accident, they're saying, it's the full description of it. It says, at a location approximately a half a mile south of Route 11, I lost control of the vehicle that I was operating, rear-ending a vehicle driven by, name unmentioned, causing his vehicle to careen off the road and strike a nearby guardrail. That is all it says. And it just says I was negligent in breaching aforementioned duty, and proximate cause of this accident resulted in damages suffered by VDOT. So it says that I struck someone and caused them to hit a guardrail. That's all there is to that accident. The other one has a whole series of events happening that, of course, neither one of them happened to me, but that's two totally different things that we're talking about here. They have nothing to say about it. The judge completely has ignored it, because he has been trying to contact me and help me since I've sent them this newest evidence I found, just because I know that he knows that I have enough now to do something. But I'm just trying to get this under control, and I still owe for this individual that I've hit, and this guy, they have him in both accidents too, so it's clear that they have it all wrong. They don't know what they're doing, and they have it all messed up, and it needs fixed. So, I mean, they've had me basically on what is almost like a house arrest for no reason. I'm just kind of homebound, and I want my license back. That's all I want. I would like to see compensation for all the years of loss because of this, but really, ultimately, I just have wanted my license back. And I'm being told now that, I have to get an attorney to do that. So,